Check fraud has been rampant ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, and fraudsters love to target small businesses. Your business checks can be stolen, altered, and cashed without you even knowing it. I'm Sean. I've been a CPA for 13 years, and now I help small service business owners better understand their accounting and finance so they can build their businesses with confidence. Before I jump in, don't forget to subscribe and check out my email newsletter for some free tools at ledgerready.work. All right, let's jump in. What is check fraud? Let me give you an example of what that looks like. You write a check, you put it in an envelope, and you stick it in the US Post Office mailbox. Now, during the pandemic, there weren't a lot of people around outside. So fraudsters could literally in broad daylight just go to one of these mailboxes, and what they'll do is they'll take double-sided tape, attach it to a string, and stick the string in the mailbox. They'll pull up as many envelopes as they can, open those envelopes, and try to find a check. Now, if they find a business check, now let's say it's written by a construction company, and this is a real example. I've literally seen this exact situation happen. These fraudsters are much smarter than you think. They will find typically a homeless person near a bank branch, and they will pay them money to cash a check on their behalf. That way they don't have to put themselves at risk. Now, let's say the check, like I said, was written by a construction company. They will dress up, they'll find this homeless person, and this is a real example. They dress this person up in a hard hat and the bright orange vest, put some boots on them, look like they're coming from a construction site, and they'll send them into the branch to cash the check. Now, before they do this, they may wash the check in some way so that they can blot out the payee and replace it with their own name, usually a fake company name or something like that. And they may even be able to change the amount. And let me tell you, they are very good at this. This is a very profitable business. I've seen check losses on single checks in the amounts of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, how can you protect against this? There are a few tools you can do in other activities that you can do to catch this before it becomes a problem. Now, the easiest thing to do is to use something called Positive Pay, which is a bank tool. And what you do is you have a pre-approved list of vendors and you pre-authorize checks to those payees. And your bank will only honor checks that match that pre-authorized list. The second thing you can do is you can only print checks with security features. So what you're looking for are checks that have watermarks, micro printing, security inks, and holograms. They're very difficult to forge. You can avoid handwriting checks. When you use accounting software like QuickBooks, you can print your check out, and having it printed makes it more difficult to forge. Fourth way you can help yourself out is you can use a dedicated check writing account. So what this means is you set up a separate checking account from which you write all your checks, and you only keep the amount of funds in that account that you need to pay those checks. This limits your losses if somebody does forge a check and changes the amount on a check that you've written. The next way you can help yourself out and avoid check fraud is, this is an easy one. Limit access to blank checks. Always keep your checks in a locked drawer in your office, or ideally in a safe, so that nobody can access those except you or your bookkeeper, whoever in your business has check signing authority. You can, the next item, mail checks securely. So like I said, these fraudsters like to just take some double-sided tape and string and reach inside one of those public US postal mailboxes. So how do you protect against that? Don't put them in those mailboxes. Now you could deliver them, you could have it sent by courier. Just be careful which mailboxes you're putting them in. The next way you can protect yourself, reconcile your bank accounts at least monthly. So always check your bank statement, look at the payee, look at the amount, and make sure that any checks cashed against your account are valid. And the last way you can protect yourself, and this is the one that I suggest the most, stop writing checks. You can pay most of your vendors electronically via ACH. In a lot of ways, it's much easier for you. If you have recurring payments that you make to vendors, for utilities or something like that, you can even set up auto pay and you don't even have to worry about it. A lot of the time, you can set up an arrangement with the vendors that they send you a confirmation email. So they let you know when they're about to withdraw the funds from your account. That way, you have a reminder to still get that information into your accounting records, but you don't have to worry about writing a check. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. And like I said at the start of the video, if you're interested in some free accounting and finance tools, check out my newsletter at ledgerready.work. All right, see you next time.